I can't stop thinking about this comment that I read that Rocky Road to Dublin, which is prominently featured in the Oscar-winning film Sinners, has roughly the same like lyrical plot as Regulate by Warren G featuring Nate Dogg. And I'm not going to make a whole spreadsheet comparing their lyrics together. Like, that would be ridiculous. On the left column, we have Regulate by Warren G and Nate Dogg, and here we have Rocky Road to Dublin, specifically the Dubliners version. We're going to use dark gray to ignore the intro and outro because most Irish folk songs don't have those. We're then going to move on to a color-coded section. I've just used kind of a random coloring here. This first is going to be time and place, which I put as separate from location and women, because it should be place and women, but women are often associated with a place. That's why we have sister cities in folklore, not brother cities. It's a very common mentality. So it was a clear black night and a clear white moon, and we started in the merry month of May, now from the home I started. And then in the very next line, we discuss where we are. We're on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the eve. And we also have left the girls of Tomb nearly broken-hearted, because the narrator of the Rocky Road to Dublin is originally from Tomb. I've got yellow to indicate kind of the introductory content of we are off to make our fortunes. In the case of Regulators, this is a very quick mention that we are rolling in my ride, we're chilling alone. This is kind of very like we're going out into the world solo, although in the case of Nate Dogg, who is considered the crew in this narrative, he is actually on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. And of course, they are all indicating that we are in 213 and in search of girls. So that's like a kind of a collective goal here, but there's more of a focus on looking for skirts in Regulate compared to the man going out to make his fortune in Rocky Road to Dublin. We continue on with some location indicators. Warren G, of course, has now hooked a left on 2-1 and Lewis. In Rocky Road to Dublin, I won't focus too much on the chorus. There's kind of a lot going on there, but the chorus indicates that we're on the road to Dublin and it's rocky, and the next location is Mullingar. Next is the section I'm calling Good Fortune and Women. It's this kind of green-blue color that doesn't actually show up so well on the phone, but Warren G gets jacked. He gets stolen from. And that actually happens right after Mullingar. He is robbed as soon as he arrives in Dublin. So almost like direct parallels between those two. That's at the same moment where Nate Dogg does see some skirts, but it's a problem because he hasn't found Warren G yet. And interestingly, in Mullingar, it's so nice that he almost doesn't move on to Dublin because he loves the women there, but that's almost treated as a problem, like it's a temptation. Which is another parallel, because the skirts here are a distraction from Nate Dogg trying to find Warren G. Here, the lasses of Mullingar are also a distraction from the road to Dublin. In both cases, you have to focus on your ultimate goal before you can focus on the skirts. Which moves us on to the final narrative theme, which is I am saved by my crew. This also happens in both songs. In Regulate, it's focused on much more as Nate Dogg arrives, saves his friend Warren G, turns some bodies cold so that they can return to finding skirts. In this case, it's a lot of bad fortune on the road until finally he does make it to Liverpool, is immediately mocked. However, in this case, some of his crew and the Galway boys who recognize him and his style and accent and jump into the fray on his side and are therefore able to overpower the Liverpool boys and in their own sense turn their own bodies cold. And that's kind of the only kind of celebratory moment we have at the end of this song, which is, well, at least I found some Galway boys who got my back once I got to Liverpool. In the case of Regulate, we give ourselves a little bit more time to celebrate. We go back to the curb, we find the skirts. Nate Dogg and Warren G together are now able to spit their game, get their freaks on, and eventually find themselves at the East Side Motel, which is the final location for the song. And then we have an outro, which again doesn't exist kind of in the Irish tradition in the same way. Are they exactly the same? No. But is the overall structure of the narrative like wildly similar, of somebody like going out on the road, getting into trouble, trying to find women, fame, and fortune, falling on hard times, but ultimately being saved by your crew, be that Nate Dogg or the Galway boys who got your back in Liverpool? I would say those are extremely thematically similar songs. So Regulate, Rocky Road to Dublin, basically the same storybook, just with entirely different flavors.